And I'm going to double check. All right. So, I always like when I get a chance to be behind the scenes and I'm getting things kind of queued up. And I've always wanted to ask this guest, folks who are on here, like experts like yourself, Andrea, what's one of the books you're reading like now, or a book you just finished reading that you like to kind of share what you've learned from, right? And I know it has nothing to do with the show or what's going to take place, but I'm just curious as we get going, like, what's one of the books you're reading now?
Well, actually, I dabble a lot in books, but the book that I'm reading right now is Millionaire Success Habits, actually.
Oh.
Dean Grazioso's team was local in Richmond a couple weeks ago. They gave out the books for free, and it was a great seminar and wealth seminar, and I've been working and reading in that book.
Wow. And what do you like most about that book?
So far, it's really just about identifying your vision in simple terms. And oftentimes what happens is, we know a lot about what we don't want, but we never really identify what we do want. Right? And how important it is to identify. When you're able to identify something you really want, then you're more apt to pursue it, and you're able to, be more driven about that particular area of your life. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And why do people always talk about you have to know your vision? Like, do you like create this vision out of thin air? Is it supposed to be a vision that comes to you? Because you hear it all the time. You don't know what you want. Yeah, I want to be happy. You don't know what you want. Right. I want a family. You don't know what you want. What's your vision? And it's for so long to me, and I'm a big believer in it, so I know you are. But right. For so long, you hear that from coaches and consultants. When you think of someone understanding their vision, can you break that down so folks kind of understand what they're stepping into, including myself? Because I really don't know. Don't worry. We'll get started in a moment. But I'm just curious. You keep saying vision. When you say vision, what do you mean? And how do you really determine what your true vision is?
Right. Well, I think there's a couple of factors to that. But one is really what you want in your life. And I think sometimes we focus so much as a people on the negative aspects about, as I was saying, what we don't want, then it's very difficult for us to decide what we really do want and what will make us happy, not what will make other people happy. So let's be clear, because a lot of times we live for other people, our parents, extended family members, what we think we should be doing, who we think we should be marrying, what schools we think we should be doing, attending, and really understanding who you are as an individual and what you want in your life and beginning to pursue that and having a direct way to get that. Now, sometimes what happens is as you're, looking or creating that vision or deciding what it is that you want in your life, you can take into or how can I explain it? You may have a vision, as you were saying, from a faith perspective, right? God may have given you a vision, a business or a calling or a purpose, which is a whole nother topic because we all do have a purpose. And those two can sort of work together. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah. So are you saying that this vision is given to us by God? Are you saying this vision is given to us by who we believe we are? Tell me a little bit more about what you mean by that, if you don't mind.
I think it's a combination. I think it's definitely a combination. I believe that, as a believer, right, that God is always giving us visions and glimpses of what we really can do. But part of it is our self-belief. And sometimes the environments or the people that we're around can limit us to what we think that we can do. And so we minimize our vision, right? But when we're able to open our mind up and to really believe, walk in faith, in one perspective, the spiritual aspect of it, and then additionally take the necessary steps and actions and change and growth that's required, we can definitely get there. But it doesn't just happen, right? We got to work for it.
Now, you help people every day with their visions. I get that. And I'm just curious, when someone asks you what's your vision, and I don't put you on the spot. Look, we got to get going. I know another minute or two to give me the signal. But we're on this vision track. When someone asks what's Andrea's vision, the vision she has for herself and the vision she has for her organization, how does Andrea respond to that? And for those folks that are watching, this is a very important question because, we're going to get started. And we've got a great topic to see how you can be the best version of you. We're going to get to that. But what is Andrea's vision for herself? And what's the vision she has for her organization? Please share with us.
Okay, sure. Well, vision for me is purpose, that I'm operating in purpose, that I walk in prosperity and live as a kingdom citizen in prosperity, and that I have a life full of love in my relationships, whether that's an intimate relationship, family members, friends, and the people who are surrounding me. And then on a business level, to expand this movement for divorced women. I believe that there's a little difference in the stigma of divorced women and divorced men, or single women and single men. And I think that oftentimes after women leave relationships, that there's a stigma attached, that there's an identity issue. And instead of focusing on ourselves and our growth and healing, we're looking to either cover it up, jump into another relationship, because that's kind of how socially we've been defined over decades. And so I want to clear that up, even from a believer standpoint, that we're not identified by being somebody's wife, being somebody's mom, being our particular occupation, a teacher, a nurse, whatever that may be, but we are our individual selves. And when you've gone through that divorce, when you've gone through a negative situation, it can really, chip away at how you feel about yourself. And we're good at wearing masks. Right? We know how to look good and, go to our jobs and act like everything is okay. But there are many women who are broken and have been broken for decades. Wow. And I want to see that shift.
And so that's what your movement is about. That's what your company is about. It's helping women really recover and be the best version of themselves. Absolutely. And live the life they've always wanted to have with joy and fulfillment. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm just trying to ask. I'm a simple guy. Just ask a simple question. I'm checking to make sure we're live, which I'm going to do in a moment. But is that what I'm hearing?
That's what you're hearing. Absolutely.
Well, I love it. Let me do a mic check. We're going to get kicked off whether we're going live or not. I see we have none other than a number of folks who joined on. Victor Cooper is on. What's up, Victor? Michael Ray is on. Savella's in the house. What's going on? Andre, my man, Sean Harper is in the house. He's about to kick this thing off. What's up, Sean? September, thanks for joining. Anisha in Las Vegas. Andrea, we're about to get going. Leah's in the house. Priscilla's in the house. V Speak Life is in the house. D Bowden's in the house. What's up, Rob Henson? Glad to see you. Kimberly Manning, always a pleasure. She's right there up there in Baltimore, Maryland, by the way. So she's not too far away from you. So Coney Prince, I got your message. Look, do me a favor because we're kicking off. Just everyone, look right below the video. Look right below the video and just write these words. We hear you, Shay. And then put, we hear you, Andrea. If you were eavesdropping on our conversation, then put, Andrea, we hear you, so I know we hear you. Tammy Lawrence, put, Andrea, we hear you, so I know you hear me. Andrea, just say mic check 1, 2, if you would, or 1, 2, 3, whatever works for you.
Mic check 1, 2, 1, 2.
Mic check 1, 2, 1, 2, or 3, 4, 3, 4. All right, I'm getting the signal. What's up, Dora White? Thanks for joining. Got to get you on the show. With that being said, I'm getting the signal that they can hear us. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It's my favorite part. I love to get started. We're going to get started in 5. Give me the countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. We got a show. I can't wait.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra. You know, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country because of you, the entrepreneur, you, the business owner, you, the single mom that gets up every single day and do what you do. God bless you. The single dad, hey, I was a single dad, that gets up every single day to take care of the kids and do what you have to do. And all of you who are productive citizens, all of you who pay your taxes, and more importantly, all of you who show up and share this message with the world. Our mission is to inspire, it is to empower, it is to uplift, and more importantly, it's to provide the resources necessary for you to execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the whole world, Andrea M. Stuckey. Did I get that right? Andrea
Yes.
M. Stuckey.
Yes, you did.
Yes, M. Stuckey. That's important. Andrea M. Stuckey is in the house, and she's here to help you not just so much change your life, not so much live your vision, not so much live your dreams, but to make sure you have the resources you need to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And she showed up to do that. So let me do a mic check and say hello to one and only. What's up, Andrea?
Hey, Shay.
Hey.
Thank you for having me tonight.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It is an honor and a privilege. And for all of you watching, do me a favor. Look right below the video right now. We appreciate you. So I just want you to look right below the video and say, welcome, Andrea. Look right below the video and say, hey, Andrea. Look right below the video and say, Andrea, I'm here in the house, and tell us where you're from. Now, I'm going to ask Andrea where she's from, and she's going to tell me. But look, you can see Andrea. You can hear. Yeah, you can hear Andrea, but she can't see you. She can't hear you. So you look right below the video and say, hey, Andrea. For example, Sean Harper from Ohio, I don't know. Or, hey, Andrea, it's Tammy Lawrence from blankety blank. Do that right now. Look right below the video. Look right below the video and tell us where you're from. Andrea, where are you from?
Richmond, Virginia area. Right outside Richmond, Virginia.
Now, are you originally from Richmond, Virginia?
No, I'm originally from Connecticut.
From Connecticut, okay. Originally from Connecticut, and she is in the house right now, giving us a warm welcome. I can't wait to hear her message. You said originally from Connecticut. Well, what brought you to this area down here now in Virginia?
Back in the 80s, I transferred colleges, and that's what initially brought me here.
Well, welcome to the nation's capital. You're not too far from Washington, D.C., the greatest city, I believe, in the entire world. Why? Because I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm a native Washingtonian, and I love D.C. I couldn't think of a better place to live, although I now live in San Antonio with my beautiful wife, by the way. She reminds me I have two homes. I live in D.C., and I live in San Antonio. So I love San Antonio, Texas. They feed you well out there, by the way, so I'm loving it. Saucony Prince says, welcome, Andrea, to the house. Saucony, I got your message, man. I love what you're doing on Mondays, man. You are a rock star. You're doing so much. We appreciate you. All of you who are joining right now, V-Life, we see you. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. Laditra, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here in the house. Now, as we get started, we're going to have a conversation that's going to help you really get the results you want in your life. And I couldn't think of a better time than right now for us to be having this particular type of conversation. So, Andrea, before we get started, I know you're used to helping folks get back on their feet. You're used to helping women stay on their feet. You're used to working with very professional individuals who have high goals, high aspirations, and they go after with everything they have. But can I take a moment and share something, one of my favorite segments called the Champion's Creed. And you may like this because I know you encourage, I know you inspire, I know you're that voice in the ear that helps them get going. And I want to do the Champion's Creed, and this is when we inspire someone else. This is when we empower someone else. This is when we uplift and recognize someone else. So for everyone that's out there watching, we're going to do that, by the way. We're going to do that LA before says, welcome, Andrea. She wants to welcome you to the house, by the way. Andrea, before was getting started, was like getting ready. You know, she got her hair going, got the green on. She's rocking out. Let's take a full camera. She's walking out with that big old smile on her face. Before we do the Champions Creed, look, she got the wave going on. If y'all only knew, she was like ready. When it came to sound check, she called me before I called her. She was like, look, I'm ready. I'm in the house. She said, Shay, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. Someone holler at a boy. She knows something about that. So she was right there on time. And boy, was I really excited. So do me a favor. Look right below the video and just say, Andrea, you look great. Andrea, nice smile. Andrea, you look wonderful. And sometimes we want other people. That's not the Champions Creed, but don't worry about it. We'll get to the Champions Creed. But sometimes we need other people to remind us of how we are showing up in the world. But Andrea, here's how the Champions Creed goes. I show one of my favorite sayings that my mentor taught me 15 years ago. And I say it almost every single day. And the words, it's not about the words, it's about the words mean and how it impacts, and it changes my peak state. It changes my mindset, and it shifts my whole energy, by the way. And we'll talk about that because I know you help women shift their energy, and us guys can do the exact same thing, right? Because thoughts are things, and things can be changed. So you can change your thoughts, and you can change your state of mind, which changes your energy level. We'll get to that in just a moment. But here's the Champions Creed. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to ask you if you'll read it as well. So for those folks out there that know what I'm about to do, it's showtime, by the way. Champions Creed for all of us who get up every single day to do our best. But let's uplift someone else. When I read the Champions Creed, they said, Shay, you didn't tell me what I'm supposed to do. I know, I got so excited. When I read the Champions Creed, what I want you to do is look right below the video, and I want you to write these words. You are amazing. Hashtag I believe in you. So we're going to believe in someone else, okay? We're going to believe in someone else before they believe in themselves, because sometimes you need someone else to believe in you. My mom believed in me before I believed in myself. My coach believed in me before I believed in me. He said, Shay, you'll be one of the top 5 sales trainers of your generation. I said, well, that's not possible. I don't even like sales, right? Mother dear said, no, you're number one to me. Remember, you're always number one. She believed that. I believe with every fiber, although I wasn't by any stretch of the imagination. But you're going to look right below that video, and you're going to write these words. You are amazing. Hashtag I believe in you. And that's a bat signal to another entrepreneur. That's a bat signal to another married couple. That's a bat signal to a single person, or someone that's going through tough times, or someone that's doing really, really well, just got a promotion. And you get a promotion. You win a big contract. Let me tell you, the pressure goes up, baby. It gets hot really, really quick, because when you fall, you can fall so much further. You got a whole lot to lose. So I want you to write these words. Look right below the video, and write these words. You are what? Amazing. Hashtag I believe in you. I see you, Tina Wolf. Thanks so much for joining, by the way. Thanks so much to Coney. So here's the Champions Creed. It goes something just like this. The Happy Entrepreneur's Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail, Jill Bullock, but I keep trying, And that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to write right below that video, when you heard those words, you are amazing. Hashtag I believe in you. So you're not talking to yourself. It's not a self-affirmation. This is you pushing out. This is the giver's economy. This is you blessing someone else. This is you helping someone else, Peg DeShane, really do what they need to do, Obima Martin. This is what this is all about. So don't do it for Shay Brown. Don't do it for Andrea M. Stuckey. Do it for yourself. Now, Andrea, will you do me a favor? Will you read the Champions Creed? And then when you finish, they'll learn how wonderful you are, okay? They'll learn all the great things you've done. They'll learn all about your celebrity clients. But I'd like for you to slow down and take a moment when you finish and share maybe a challenge you had, a setback you have, a little bit about your narrative, so they get a perspective on who you are. And it doesn't matter what happened to you. All we want is the lesson. Will you do that for the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to bring that up. LA, I see you. She said, you are amazing. I believe in you. Thanks for supporting another entrepreneur. Thanks for blessing someone else. Thanks for uplifting another person that's out there right now. All right, here we go. Take it away, Andrea.
All right, the Happy Entrepreneur's Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying.
And keep trying, and keep trying, and keep trying. You always got to put the remix version on that because we keep trying over and over and over again. Andrea, take a moment and tell us about a time that there was a challenge in your life. What's up, Sonia Pendleton? Thanks for joining. Mario Reynolds, we appreciate you, my man. Thanks for showing up this evening. But take a moment now and tell us about a time that you failed and how did you overcome it?
Well, one of the times that come to my mind is my first marriage. When I failed that first marriage, I was about 26 years old. I had a 16-month-old daughter, and my first husband literally walked out. I have never seen the man ever again, and it's been over 20 some odd years. And so I was not surrounded by my family. I had moved to another state with my husband at the time, and he literally walked out. Now there were some things that happened prior to that. But I had a 16-month-old. I was underemployed, working a part-time job. And I really had to learn to rebuild my life. So that was a tough time for me, experiencing rejection, experiencing abandonment, and being a young new mother and having to put all those pieces together in that season of my life. However, I wanted to quit. I would be not telling the truth if there weren't points where I didn't want to quit, but I kept going day by day, month by month, and year by year.
Kept on going day by day, month by month. And you said what?
Year by year.
Year by year. As you're saying that right now, I want to ask you another question. I want you to maybe share a mindset, an affirmation that you had to tell yourself. Maybe not then, but looking back now, what affirmation would you share with someone that they can grab hold on to? Think about that for a moment, an affirmation or belief statement that you want to share with the audience. I want to recognize Tony Moore, the legal chick, the amazing woman out of Philadelphia. Tony, I can't wait to hang out with you again. She's in the house, says you are amazing. Hashtag I believe in you. Stephanie Marshall, what's up? Said you are amazing. I believe in you. Martha Stone, what's going on, Martha Stone? She said you are amazing. I believe in you. You got none other than Donna Hicks Izzard. How did you bring out the all-stars this evening, man? You're bringing out the all-stars. She's here right now. Donna, you are amazing. I believe in you. And we believe in every single one of you that show up. And you show up for one reason only, and that is to make a difference in the lives of someone else. Mimi is out there and says, you are amazing. Stephanie Hughes, I see you, says, you are amazing. Hashtag I believe in you. Let's do something different. Let's add on to the Champions Creed because we got the woman that is the game changer in the house. We got the recharger in the house. We got the reuniter in the house. We got the person that gives you the rocket fuel, Andrea M. Stuckey, to really blast off to your vision, to your dreams, and to the life you've always wanted. What is an affirmation that you could share with the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe that they could tell themselves? Now, Donna, as you're out there, as I see you, Tony Moore, look below the video and give us an affirmation that you have, an affirmation you believe in. Donna, I know you're unstoppable, but I have no idea what Donna going to say, by the way, so y'all better watch her. I'm going to tell you right now. But you... because it's not about Andrea M. Stuckey, and she told me I could talk to y'all, so it's okay with that. But she wants to hear what your affirmation is. She wants to hear what your beliefs is, so she can share that with her tribe as well. So you look right below the video, and I'm going to ask her, when you're alone and you've got to keep on going, what do you tell yourself? Andrea, give us the affirmation. Say it a little slowly. Someone write it down, please, if you would. Someone write it down. And then give us a little context about what it means, Andrea, okay? Okay. Take it away.
It really is simple. It's the word of God that is in my heart. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And for me, that is a belief. It is a belief to the core of my being. And when I lose sight, when I feel down, that is the scripture. You can call it an affirmation, depending on your belief system, that I pull from. And knowing and believing, that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And for me, that is a belief. It is a belief to the core of my being. And when I lose sight, when I feel down, that is the scripture. You can call it an affirmation, depending on your belief system, that I pull from. And knowing and believing in Christ, in God. That is my faith, my belief that gives me strength each and every day, and especially when things don't seem to be going quite as I would like them to be.
I like that. Give us the affirmation one more time. Someone write the affirmation down right below. And if she's doing that, I do want to say hello to the one and only Vanessa Collins. She's in the house rocking out. Andrea Woodford said, "What's up, everybody?" She's in the house, by the way. Tammy Lawrence says, "I love that creed." Thanks a lot, Tammy Lawrence, for your comments. What's up, Ken Brooks? Cynthia Green, what's in the house? We're about to go to you in just a moment. Y'all about to hear from James and Cynthia Green in just a moment. Stay tuned. Tell us that creed one more time, by the way, and please, everyone write that down. The scripture.
Somebody else may type it in the comment section, but I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me or gives me strength.
I love it. I love it. Cynthia Green's the first one to write. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Tammy Lawrence said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. How powerful that? How true is that? This is what it's all about. Yeah, everyone has their own message. Everyone has their own creed. But I want you to know something right now. I love the Champions Creed. Thank all y'all for being part of the Givers Economy. Thank you for sharing with other folks who are out there so they could hear that message, so they could hear from you, and they could also grab a hold of that. And someone needs that message right now, and you're out there. Sherry Lou Randall said, "I am more than a conqueror. I am an overcomer." Mimi put, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Tony Mortis said, "Andrea, you look amazing."
Thank you, Tony.
Now, Tony Moore, you keep hanging out like this, by the way. I'm going to put you on the camera. You got to show up with it. I don't know how Tony does it. She does so many things, but she's such an incredible human being. Florence Duchess, thanks a lot for joining. We appreciate you. Let's go over now to none other than the one and the only. When we come back, we're going to get down. When I say get down, we're going to have a down and frank conversation with Andrea M. Stuckey, who speaks to women and inside of women and empowers women and inspires women to be more, have more, and do more in their life. And I'm going to ask her what her secret sauce is. She's going to share that when we come back. With that being said, you're watching none other than the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We'll be back in just a moment. Amber Woods, I got to give you a shout-out. She says, amen, amen. Thanks a lot. Sakoni Prince said, "Hey, I'm a guy. Don't leave me out. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Let's go over to James and Cynthia Green with Marriage Built to Last, as they talk about education and the importance of it in a relationship. And they've agreed to share their relationship thought of the week. Let's go over to James and Cynthia Green. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Hi, how's everyone doing? My name is James Green, and this is my lovely wife, Cynthia. And our company is Marriage Built to Last, because we truly believe if you build it, it will last. And we are your marriage and relationship visionary strategists. And let me tell you, we are so excited to share our thought of the week with the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe. And I just want to say, all you guys rock. This month we are talking about going from I do to we do.
Our theme is teaching couples on how to go from I do to we do, because we believe couples should be in that happy we place where they're doing things together. So we're going to be talking about that in 5 key areas. The first area is career, business, or ministry. The second is education, both personally and professionally. The third is spiritually. The fourth is in health and wellness. And the last is in money, your finances. So this week, our thought of the week comes from in how to go from I do to a we do in education. And what we're really talking about is when you get married at the altar, you say I do to the officiant, correct? Well, you shouldn't walk away from that altar thinking, what do I have to do to make us have a great marriage? It should be, what do we have to do to make sure we have an awesome and amazing marriage? So educationally, the things that you can do is grow together, whether he's working on his career or she's working on her career. You should be supporting each other in that area, pushing each other, encouraging each other. You can grow together educationally together by taking a course together and something that you wanted to learn about that you both can grow in. Or you may just want to to do something at church to increase your knowledge spiritually. But at the same time, grow educationally in your marriage. Grow your love. Grow your communication. Grow the things that you're doing together in marriage. Just remember, it's all about becoming a strong we. And remember, live inside the we.
Live inside the we. For those folks that are out there right now thinking, yeah, I've got to make sure in any relationship that it's about us, not just me. And sometimes, I'm not saying folks are selfish intentionally, but I know that does happen. You're here with none other than the one and only, the fabulous, the brilliant, the smart, the intelligent, Andrea M. Stuckey. And Andrea, for those folks that don't know you and your backstory, do you mind taking a moment or two? We'll slow down for a second. Tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are on this journey so folks can put it into perspective. And you came right out the gate and said, on my first marriage, the person walked away. Now, I'm assuming that's the first one. I don't know if there's a second one or what's going on, but we're going to find out. I'm curious, by the way. You kind of left me hanging, by the way. Okay, so they don't have to wait. Is there a second marriage? I'm just curious.
Yes,
seriously.
yes, there was a second marriage.
Oh, hold on. Let me get this right. There was a first marriage, and there was a second marriage. So those marriages are gone now. Am I hearing that? It's not. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just curious.
It's all good.
It's probably public record. Okay, so they're over now.
They're over. Yes.
All right, you got to tell us a story at some point. So you can talk to going through two marriages. You can talk to the highs and the lows. And so when you're speaking to women about what you need to do to really reclaim your life and reclaim who you are, you're an expert in that area. Okay, so let's ask, if I can, give the audience some context about how you got started and what's your burning desire to make sure that women don't find themselves in that same place. And I will say congratulations, by the way. I've been through 2 divorces. I'm on my third and final and last marriage, by the way. Last marriage. I'm very, very happy. I'm still on my honeymoon. I'm trying to enjoy every moment of every minute of every day of this honeymoon. Hopefully it will never end. That's my goal. Someone said, well, Shay, how you going to stay married this time? I want a honeymoon every day. Every day, baby, is honeymoon day. But that's my intent. But anyway, it's not about me. This is really all about you and all of the viewers that are out there, like Marilla from Australia, who's on right now watching. We want to thank her for tuning in and thank her for being here. And thank all of you who made comments below. Do me a favor, Sherry Randall. Do me a favor for those folks that are out there. Gina, what's up, Gina Hall? I see she says, grow your marriage, live inside the we. She's out there watching right now. Do me a favor. Look right below the video, and just write these words. You are amazing. That's to bless someone else. All right, Andrea, tell us your story.
Okay, so let me just ask you a question. Want to reframe that? Did you want me to tell you about the second marriage, or did you want me to tell me about?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about the second marriage. We don't want to take no trips down memory lane. They can go get the book and learn all that. But in context, because I know that's a show by itself. I'm joking. I don't even know the story, y'all. I really don't know the story. But here's the context. You are on the show now. The audience doesn't know who you are. They'll read your bio, and that's some words. They'll go to Amazon.com and see all the books you've written. But just give them a context of how did you get started in what you're doing now, and where does this passion come from? Where does this burning desire come from to help women succeed?
Absolutely. So, after that second marriage and having to rebuild my life for the second time, I literally was just, living my life. I went to therapy. My challenge was codependency in relationships, which I found out in therapy, right? And so I went to therapy. I had some codependency support groups, and had some coaching as well. And I was just living my life and raising my children. And back in 2012, there's sort of an impartation, I believe, that the Lord kind of gave me the title of a book. And I remember thinking, I'm not interested in writing a book, but I wrote the title down. I actually put it in my smartphone. And in 2015, that title came back to me. And it was imparted in my spirit as a believer to write this book. And at that time, I was 5 years outside of my second marriage. So I was obedient, and I'm like, okay, I'll just go ahead and write this book. So as I began to write this book, it's amazing how things begin to unfold from social media. It's just how doors open to coaches and information about publishing books and writing books. And so I went along that path. I met my business coach. I wrote the book. I got certified as a life coach. And one of the things that I found in this process of sort of continue to heal and writing that book, in getting my life coach certification, that all of the challenges that I had been through between those two marriages, people needed healing in those areas. And so that is how I got into this space. And I've been in this space for about 3.5 years, and I wouldn't be doing anything else. It is so rewarding to see women's lives change.
Now, we're going to get to the 3 secrets or 3 ideas you share for folks to live the fulfilling life they want. We'll get to that in just a moment. That's on another segment. But let me ask this question, if I can, for folks that are listening right now. Can you? Because I know it's got to be on there. It's got to be on their mind. What's up, Kevin Peck? Kevin Peck's in the house. What's up, Kevin Peck? What's up, Terrence Carter? We're going to get to this question because they got one to know. Jacqueline Fulton, thanks for joining. She's in the house. They want to know about the second marriage. I know I brought it up. It's the elephant in the room now. Married one time, didn't work out. Married a second time, it didn't work out. You told the first story about your husband just walking out on you and your daughter. And I don't say that being disrespectful because I only have so much time.
Worries.
And I'm not smiling saying that it's a funny situation because I know it's a very serious situation. And I myself have been through 2 marriages and my wife walked out on me. So I get it. But the second marriage, we can't leave them hanging. Someone sent me a text and said, Shay, you got to ask about the second marriage. I'm like, okay. Can you take a moment? Don't take too much time because we gotta get going.
Sure.
But tell us a little about the second marriage and the context, and I guess what happened if you want to comfortable sharing that. And then what was the lesson you learned that you would give us to take away from that helped you reborn or help you re-energize or help you reclaim or help you reignite your life? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, probably about 2 to 3 years after that first marriage, I met my second marriage at church. And so that was not the experience in my first marriage. Okay. I was young. I had not rededicated my life. I didn't even know what marriage was about in my first marriage, to be honest with you. But now I had more of a focus, right? A biblical understanding of what marriage was. I met my second husband at church. We were active participants of the faith. We dated. We got married. Again, active participants in the faith. The real deal here, Shay, is I never really healed from that first marriage. What? Now, there were a plethora of things that happened in that marriage, but I'm going to own what was my part, right? I was dealing with a lot of rejection, a lot of unfinished business from that first marriage, and I brought those wounds into my second marriage. And so even as believers, because we had a faith-filled marriage, it was not enough. And so sometimes a strong faith is not enough to keep a marriage together. And I was married 13 years in that relationship. We had I had my second daughter in that relationship, in that marriage. And I just found myself very, very unhappy and that just spiraled into other things in our relationship. And after 13 years, we just couldn't make it work any longer.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, congratulations for leaving that relationship. Congratulations, not for rebounding, but continuing your life, restarting your life, and being where you are right now, and the blessing that you are today. You are really awesome. You're really incredible, and you're changing lives. Let us all welcome Andrea M. Stuckey. Look right below the video. And just write, Andrea, you are awesome. Just put, Andrea, you are awesome. Or, Andrea, I believe in you. Or, Andrea, congratulations. Now, this was years ago. She's over it. But let's acknowledge her for just being transparent. She didn't know. This was not planned. Let's acknowledge her for being authentic. And let's just acknowledge her for just being a kind human being right now and walking us through this. And that's very, very important. So, Andrea, I want to thank you for sharing that message with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. Gina Hall says, therapy saves lives all day. She's on here listening right now, says you're awesome. She says, hold the vision and trust the process. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Gina. We appreciate that. Morris Red is in the house. What's up, Morris Red? He says, what's up, Shay and Andrea? He's in the house right now. Mimi said, Andrea, you are awesome for going through and sharing and doing what you're doing right now. Tammy Lawn says, Andrea, you are awesome. Jacqueline Fulton said, Andrea, you are awesome. Letitia Campbell's in the house. You're never late. You're always right on time, Letitia. You're always right on time. Andrea, you are awesome. Marella says, you are awesome. Write down as we're listening to you. Letitia just heard that part of what you've been through and says, you are awesome. Thank you so much for all of you who are sharing it, because the reality is, Andrea's awesome. It takes guts to stand up on a platform like this and not know that and reveal that. And I'm not saying that being funny. I'm saying that with all sincerity that I possibly can. And it's probably a good, perfect segue for those folks that are tuning in and watching for the very first time. And we want to welcome all of you who are first-time viewers and all of you who are back for the second or third time, and some of our regulars that are there. And it's a good segue, Andrea, to getting a restart, a rebirth, to reclaiming your life and reclaiming your time and reclaiming who you are. And one of the ways we do that is we have a segment called Today is My January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And in this segment, it's all about remembering where you were back on December 31st after writing down your goals on the back of a napkin after a couple drinks and cocktails and with your friends, and you were going to do this. And you were feeling it in your state of mind. You believed it was going to be a different you when you woke up the next morning. And maybe for some, it was. And you're off to a fast start. And others, you don't remember what you even wrote down, right? And you'd be embarrassed to go back and look right now, but it's okay. That's not what this segment is about. It's not a beat me up segment. It's a segment for you to reclaim your own life. It's a segment for you to reclaim what you said you were going to do. It's a segment for you to understand that your past does not equal your future, and you get a fresh start right now. How do you do that? The affirmation that we put during this segment. What's up, Debbie, Weatherpreneur? Thanks for joining. Hey, thanks for joining, my friend. I appreciate that. Look right below the video. And I want you to write these words, but I want you to write these words. The words I want you to write right below the video is, today is my January 1st. It's my favorite segment. Today, I get a new opportunity to get my finances together. You look right below the video, and I want you to write these words. When someone writes, today is my January 1st, I want you to hit the heart button. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to encourage them. So what's going to happen right now? You look right below the video. And I love my new sign that got me here. Do something great. Well, your do something great right now is going to be looking below that video and writing the words that today is my January 1st. I get my own relationship. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to go to the gym. Today is my January 1st. I will bless someone else. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to refuel. I'm going to recharge, and I'm going to do all the things I said I was going to do. So what do? What's your exercise? Look right below the video right now. Look right below the video and write these words. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. Gina Hall, I see. Today is your what? January 1st. Happy New Year to you. I love saying Happy New Year. And as you hear those words to the great one, that's you, Andrea M. Stuckey. When you hear those words, today is my January 1st. And you know, the reason I have people say that is that you are always in the present moment. And we can create the future. Because the future, by definition, is imaginary. The future doesn't exist. We create the future by being in the present moment. My mentor used to say, wherever you are, be there, be there. So we're always living in the present moment. There's a moment. There's a moment. There's a moment. We're never to the future. We really aren't. So you look right below the video and put, today is my January 1st. Sherry Lou Randalls put, today is my January 1st. Brenda Vore said, today is my January 1st. My past doesn't equal my future. That's just amazing for you. And tomorrow when you wake up and your feet hit that ground, I just want you to tell yourself, today is my January 1st. And I want you to hear what Andrea has to say when she thinks today is my January 1st, and the mindset that she has, the belief she has. But we want your actions to match your beliefs. So when you write today is my January 1st, like Tina, I believe Harmon just did, then I want you to know there's some actions that go along with today is my January 1st. And for me, I'm going to call a distant cousin or a relative. So we are a very, very small family. And outside of our family, probably 25 people, right? And that's uncles, aunts, and nieces. I often don't get a chance to really call out to some of my, they're not really distant cousins, but if you're not in the DMV area, you're a distant cousin to us. And I said, you know what? One action I can take is to call one of my cousins, call one of my aunts, call one of my great aunts. I got a great aunt now that's going to be 101 years old who I've not spoken to in like 5 years. And I spoke to her 3 years before my dad passed. And I didn't get a chance to talk to her because she didn't make it to the funeral. She couldn't. And so I'm like, you know, I need to call and do that. Now, this is not about me, but Morris Red, who put today is my January 1st, when Mimi put my past doesn't equal my future, I thought about myself first. And I said, what am I going to do and what can I take ownership for? Now, this is not about Shay Brown. It's not a confession, but I want you to be thinking. That's why I want to ask Andrea, not only talk about what it means today is my January 1st, not only talk about the actions you need to take, but what is she going to do? Don't you want to know? I mean, I want to know. She doesn't know she's going to do this. She might say, Shay, I pass, because she can pass on any question she wants. But we're going to ask it anyway. Don't worry about it, Iris. I'm going to ask her anyway. Iris said, ask. So today is my January 1st. Andrea, when you hear those words, what's your message?
Oh, well, my message is, the past is absolutely the past. Even yesterday is gone. And sometimes what happens is we don't forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we've made, for the things that the commitments that we didn't keep to ourselves. And so every single day is a day to begin again. And that is how I face every day. And I think forgiveness is a big portion, not only forgiving other people, but forgiving ourselves, and learning to do that over and over and over again, and giving ourselves grace to move forward to the things that we say we want to do.
And what is the challenge that people have? Well, I guess what action are you going to take? Let me ask that. What action are you going to take? Since I had to bare my soul. I couldn't let you just bare your soul on here, what you did earlier. I had to bare my soul, if you would. What action are you going to take? And Malika said, what's up? Malika Courtney is in the house. She said she's here. Tina says, my past doesn't equal my future. Kelvin May is in the house. What's up, Kelvin? Thanks a lot. Mark Lewis is in the house. What's up, Mark Lewis? Thanks for joining, by the way. You're here with the one and the only Andrea M. Stuckey. We got Kim Yancey in the house. What's up, Kim Yancey? I see you, baby. I see you. We got Coach Claire Sunshine is in the house. Okay, Andrea, what action are you going to take?
Well, the action that I'm actually currently taking is this. I had actually went to Connecticut a couple weeks ago to visit my mom, who is 79. She's probably watching or going to watch by replay and be mad that I told her age. But, as you go through these different seasons of life and you see how your family dynamics change, it makes you reflect a little bit differently on your own life, or it does for me anyway. And so having two children, 25 and 15, and not being around my biological family, right? I don't have that here in Virginia. I made a commitment for us to reconnect on a regular basis, all three of us, because I have an adult daughter outside of the home, right? And so what I'm doing, and I actually had this conversation with both of my children, that this is the way, and I told them how I want to reconnect and consistently have time together. I know they're going to have their lives. I have a teenager and an adult child as well, but we have to actually take action to make our family stay cohesive, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm seeing how things and dynamics change when your parents age, when we've moved away, and all those different dynamics. And so I'm actually doing that in my life right now.
Wow, well, you're looking fabulous. Thanks a lot for sharing that. Thanks for being authentic. Gina Hall says the past is absolutely the past, baby. That's what she says, by the way. Tony Moore says, yes, you can begin again. Dee Bowden said, give yourself grace so you can move forward. How true is that? Y'all are here with the one and only, the fabulous one, Andrea M. Stuckey. When we come back, you're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. And we come back, she's going to unleash the secret. She's going to talk about what the secret is that you need right now in order to live the life you were destined to live, in order to walk in your purpose, in order to live the vision that you want, and more importantly, how you can bless someone else. And even if you're fearful, even if you're not sure if that's true, there's a little voice saying, oh, no, Shay, not again. I've heard this message many times. No. You stay tuned. She's got 3 ideas, 3 secrets that you can implement with or without her that's going to help rock your world. With that being said, we're going to take a break. We're going to go right over to the one and only, the fabulous Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, coming to us about how to face your fears. And even as we're talking about walking in your vision, there may be some fears. Am I tall enough? Am I short enough? Am I fat? Am I too skinny? Do I have the right education? We'll be back. Oh, you got a rebound? Don't worry about that. You got Andrea M. Stuckey. We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away, Dr. Kenneth.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you hashtag Next Sister Up. Today, I'm here with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Face your fears. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of dating again? Are you afraid of starting a new business or launching a new product or service? Are you afraid of being wealthy? Remember, exposure to your fear is better than avoidance. So stop avoiding whatever it is for you. Face your fears head on. When you face your fears head on, you get a sense of accomplishment. When you face your fears head on, you gain power, and you can look back and say, that wasn't so bad. When you face your fears head on, your anxiety decreases. Because when you're afraid of something, your anxiety is going to increase. When you face your fears head on, you gain skills and mastery. And who wouldn't want to add a new skill to their toolbox? And lastly, when you face your fears head on, you decrease your failures. Now, I know in life we often say failure equals feedback, but when people tend to fail, they tend to stop trying. So I'm reminded of this quote by Marianne Williamson. She says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. So I challenge you this week, face your fears. I'm Dr. K. Make it a great day.
The one and only Dr. K. Do me a favor. Everyone look right below the video. Look right below the video. And you saw D. Bowden put face your fears. Gain the power. Don't worry. I'm going to ask Andrea, what fears do people have when they got to start over again? What fears do they have when they've been through a troubling situation? What fears do they have when they got to rebound from a divorce or rebound for a setback? Her expertise is in the area of divorce, but aren't those pains parallel to other pains? So we're going to ask her. She'll get her thoughts together on what fears do people have to face and how do you step up and do that. But you look right below the video. You look right below the video and put face your fears and do it anyway. Just look right below the video. Look right below the video. Now, why are you writing those words? Because you're writing on the digital board to bless someone else. A podcaster is going back and listening to this. It's being syndicated through conference calls. It's being syndicated on the replays. It's in other channels right now. So your comments go along and you bless someone else. Gina Hall put, we are powerful beyond measure. Tony Moore put, I got you, Dr. K. D. Bowden said, face your fears, gain the power. We got none other than Anthony Abram. What's up, Anthony Abram out of Austin, Texas? You got the affluent man. He goes by hashtag the affluent man. Y'all got to hear his message. You've got to hear the message. The man is incredible. Anthony, we can't wait till next week. We can't wait. We can't wait. Can't wait. Ursula's in the house. All right. Andrea, talk about facing your fears and doing it anyway. And the reason I say that is that sometimes people think, well, I got to feel like doing something to take action. So you got fear and you got action, right? And they're like, well, if they aren't together, I can't do it. But here's what I want you to do. You can be fearful and you can still take action. You can be fearful and you can still make that phone call. You can be fearful and you can still what? Go to that event. You can be fearful and you can still write your book. They are independent, right? So you can face your fears. Now, that's the Shea Brown version, by the way. That's my view of the world. Doesn't mean you believe it, but I don't believe they got to be together. Many a day, I don't feel like doing a darn jucky thing. Right. But I face it and I do it anyway because I understand the action is independent. There are two things we control every single day with 100% certainty. I see you, Sylvia Dane said, face your fears. There are two things that we control every single day with 100% accuracy. We control our mindset. Mm-hmm. We can control that, and we control our actions. Those are the two things with 100% certainty that every single day we can control. So we can control our mindset, we control our actions, that we can certainly face our fears. Malika Courtney said, face your fears, do it anyway. The way I was taught was do it afraid. All right, well, that sounds cool, but let's see what the expert has to say. Let's hear what Andrea M. Stuckey has to say. Andrea, what do you say on face your fears?
Yeah, well, what I think a couple things. When we talk about fear, there are different types of fear. And oftentimes we mismanage that fear, right? And so there's fear that is kind of like a safety fear, right? That keeps us from danger. Then there's a fear that's called ego fear. We want to protect our ego, which is kind of like if you're doing something new and you feel those butterflies in your stomach before you go to speak. Well, those are they're warning signs, but it doesn't mean that you have to stop. Right. And then there's something that's a whole nother level called trauma fear, which you've actually experienced a trauma in a particular area. And so you really have a fear, a bona fide fear, right? So there's different levels of fear. There's different types of fear. And sometimes what happens is we mismanage that fear. So when you're going to speak on stage, or you're going to try something new, or you're going on your first date after a divorce, or you're going to a new job after a divorce or a situation in your life, you mismanage that fear. You think that that fear is saying to you, don't do it because it's uncomfortable. Don't do it because you have butterflies in your stomach. And as someone typed, as you had mentioned, yes, you have to push through that fear anyway. So I think oftentimes we mismanage fear. So we need to identify what that fear is, what the cause of that fear is, and then that helps us move beyond that fear. Does that make sense to you?
That makes a lot of sense to us. Makes a lot of sense. And they're probably wondering, what's a fear you had that you had to push through and do it anyway? I know for me, I'm a stutterer. I've been a stutterer my whole life. And when I was in elementary school, I didn't think I was a stutterer because Mother Dear told me that I wasn't really a stutterer. What Mother Dear said, and I came home and they were teasing me, she just simply said, hey, look, don't worry about it. Your mind just thinks faster than them because you're smarter than them. So your mind can't keep up with your mouth, right? And so I believed that until I got to high school. I found out that wasn't the case. So it was one of those things I had to not overcome, but I had to do things anyway because I just felt like I just had to do it. And I just kept pushing myself. And you don't worry about the people that tease you. You keep doing it anyway. But for you, what's a fear that you had at any point in your life that you had to push through and overcome?
There were many. There were many.
Sure.
But since we're talking about relationships, I will definitely say after my second marriage, I had a lot of fears. You know, even though I chose to leave the relationship, and I moved my children 20 miles away from where we had lived for about 13 years. I had some fears because I was pretty much a stay-at-home mom. I was homeschooling my children. I had been homeschooling for several years at that time, maybe about 7 years or so during that time. And I was underemployed, right? I was only working a couple days a month. And so I had a huge fear in that sense of what to expect. What is next for us? We are definitely walking into new territory, a new county, a new community. And so, but I had to, again, walk by faith, really, and just, put every ounce of what I knew into my life with myself and with my children. And so it was a very scary time, but we made it through, and I'm here still.
Wow. For all y'all looking right now, I want you to look right below the video. And I want you to encourage someone else right now. I know some of you put face your fears, and that's super important. What should you write? How can you inspire someone else? How can you encourage someone else? Just look right below the video. Just write the words, you can do it. Just write, you can do it. Now, I know you're blessing someone else, and yes, we do believe in the giver's economy. The person outgives the competition out-earns the competition. The person outgives the competition out-earns the competition. So I'm going to ask you a little bit tonight to pour into someone else, ask you to help someone else, and just write the words, you can do it. And that might be all that someone need to hear, is that you can do it. And I want you to think about it. When's the last time that you received a phone call or had a conversation and someone just simply said, you can do it? And if it's happened for you and happens for you on a regular basis, congratulations. You're probably in the top 1% of folks in the world. But for most folks, that's not what happens. For most folks, they have to actually go out there, and that's not what happens. They need someone to pat them on the back and say, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. So you look right below the video right now like Sylvia Dan did and put you can do it. You look right below the video like Rashawn Garrett did and put you can do it, because you're encouraging someone else right now and letting them know what they can what can they do, Andrea? They can what?
They can do it.
And what happens if they fail? What would you say to the person who says, yeah, but if I get out there and I look stupid, what about me? What happens if it doesn't work out? Come on now, because I'm a perfectionist. I got to do it right. I would tell them there's a time for perfection and there's a time for completion, right? There's a time for perfection and there's a time for completion. Some of you just need to go do it just to complete it, to get it done. But again, I'm not the expert. I'm not the specialist. That's not what I do. But I'm just telling you what's on my mind right now. Andrea, what do you say to that person that says, what if I screw up? What if I look stupid? Sherry Lewis says you can do it. Rashana said you can do it. Kelvin said you can do it. Jacqueline says you can do it. Samuel says you can do it. Sherry says you can do it. There are many folks right now, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, and Andrea's going to tell you can do it in just a moment, you can do it. So Andrea, tell them you can do it, and then tell them what the worst case scenario is if they fail.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. The worst case scenario is that you'll learn a lesson. You'll learn a lesson from that failure, whatever that failure may be. And if you never try, you'll never know. If you never know, you'll never grow. So you have to step out on faith, step out in your own self-belief, right? Believe in yourself. You're talented, you're gifted, you're so much stronger than you think. You really, really are. And oftentimes, this is something we don't know that. And that's what's there's power in affirmation. You can do it. You can definitely do it.
Wow. You can do it. You can definitely do it. Tina, I believe Harmon said, push past the fear. The blessing is on the other side. So push. You can do it. And isn't that true? That we can do it? And yeah, you may fail. I remember Trevor and I, many years ago, we were in the software business. Same business we're in now, but we were like, we're going to create our own software. We're going to have our own IT group, and they're going to go out and create all this software, and then we're going to sell the software to other folks. And it sounded like a cool thing. People were building apps, so if they can do it, look, I used to always say, if someone else has done it, so can I. And I believe that, right? And then we got into the software, and we had the software, and it didn't go too well, right? There were many angry people. Some of you watching may have bought from us back then, and they were very angry because our software couldn't keep up with the changes that was going on in Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and so the connections weren't working right, and we failed. That's the bottom line. I can tell you a lot of failures we had. We failed, but one of the things that we learned from that failure was how to organize a team and how to hire the right people and how to make the changes and how to work with clients and how to let them know we just failed and how to adjust it and how to make changes. So you can fail and you can still learn. You can fail fast, you can fail hard, but you can still learn. With that being said, just what? You can what? What did we say? You can do what did we say?
You can do it.
You can do it. You know, Morris Reed made a comment. I appreciate all you who sharing that you can do it. Like Gina put, there is power in affirmation. Sylvia said, you know what? Andrea's right. You are so much stronger than you think. Morris Reed put, you were #born ready. Don't have fear. It's merely false evidence appearing real. In other words, your fear is a lie, a trick that the devil just gave you as a question. You can do this. You can fight against inner thoughts. Look, thanks a lot for all of you who are sharing it. Thank you, Andrea, for sharing. We come back now. We come back. Don't go away. Don't go away. We are going to get those 3 ideas. Don't worry. I have not forgotten. There are 3 ideas that she's going to share with you that you can rebound. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce. That's what I told someone recently. Look, when I fall hard, but I bounce back up, baby. And that's the genius of it. You got to keep putting one foot in front of the other foot, in front of the other foot. Anyway, I got to go. We got to go. We got to go to the next break. We're going to go over to none other than Dr. Shayna Lewis out of Houston, Texas. She's going to talk to us about put your mask on first. Save yourself. And then we come back. Andrea M. Stuckey is going to talk to us about the 3 ideas you need really to rebound, be stronger, be better, go further, and go faster when we come back. With that being said, you're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We'll be back in just a moment. Dr. Shayna, well, you know what they say. Take it away.
Hey family, this is your girl, Dr. Shayna, and founder of Your Extraordinary Life Network. And today is my January 1st. And I'm so excited to be here again with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe to offer you a thought for today. Now, today's thought is pretty simple. Put your mask on first. Now, all of us have been on an airplane before. And when you get on the plane, the stewardess always says, attention everyone in the cabin. In the case of an emergency, put your mask on first before you render help to anyone else. Now, this same principle applies to us as entrepreneurs. But what I know is we don't always do that. Now, I have a very extremely busy life. And I'm remembering a time when I was getting my PhD. I was running my private counseling practice. I was coaching folks. I was managing my children, nurturing my marriage. I was taking care of all these things. And I was not putting my mask on first. What happened is I became depleted, no energy, dragging, couldn't get up in the morning. I was struggling, y'all. And it wasn't until I figured out, Shayna, you have not taken care of yourself. So you are not in a position to care for anyone else. So what I had to do was stop, take time to figure out what I needed to do for me first, whether that was go to a doctor, begin exercising, meditating, and the greatest thing was connecting spiritually. Now, I understand the value of putting your mask on first, because when I did that, I became more effective in every area of my life. So my question for you, my happy entrepreneur family, is, are you putting your mask on first? If you're not, think of 3 things right now that you can do to help yourself. Meditate, listen to music, take some time out. I promise you, if you do, you'll be glad that you did. Here's to your extraordinary life. Until next time.
Wow, 3 things you can do. I love it. Put your mask on first. In case of emergency, well, save yourself first, as the saying goes on, by the way. We got Eartha Harris is in the house. She's joined us, by the way, and so many folks have joined since we got started. We want to welcome all of you. You're here at the right place, at the right time to hear the message. And should you pay attention? Should you continue to tune in? Should you hit the share button? And I'm going to ask Andrea, what should you write when you hit that share button? There's a little share button right there. Well, if you're someone out there right now that knows that you have the potential inside of you to perform at a higher level than whatever level you're performing at right now, then you should pay attention, because Andrea M. Stuckey is going to share with you how you can do that. If you're someone that's been an entrepreneur and you work a full-time job, so you are this dualpreneur that's going on, and you're stressed and you're overwhelmed, and your relationship with your honey bunny, sweetie pie, chocolate man, the chocolate woman, whatever you want to call these folks, isn't working, or your relationships with your son or your daughter or your business partner or other folks in your family isn't the way you want it to be, and there's some tension there, then you pay attention, by the way. And if you're ready to really get the results in your life that you know that you were created and destined to have, then you're listening to the right episode. One of the things that we believe here, Andrea, and we believe it with every fiber in our being, is one of our core values, is we believe the results that show up in your life, which you're going to talk about in a moment, are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And I know for so long I was chasing the money. And I thought, well, if I made more money, I'd have more happiness. If I made more money, I could buy more things. And what I learned, it took me a lot of years to get to learn that, by the way, and a lot of setback, is it wasn't all about the money. Although, cash flow does solve a lot of problems now. Sure. Holla at your boy now. No, I'm not crazy. But that wasn't where the happiness was. And that's so important. So I want you to talk for a moment, and I'm going to pass it over to you, but I want you to frame the conversation for those folks that are tuning in, like Calvin, who just joined in, and Clarice, who just joined in and are tuning in right now and hearing the message for the first time. Here's how I want you to frame the combination. I know we talk about wholeness, but let's break it down and talk about happiness and joy, and how your view on the world of happiness and joy. And then how do you reclaim that when you've had a setback? Can we do it like that? And maybe you'll give them 3 ideas that they could use to really make that, as Dr. Willie Jolly would say, a setback is a setup for a comeback. But now we want the Andrea M. Stuckey remix version. And what are your 3 ideas to do that? So here's the question I'm asking for all those folks that are listening that hit the share button. And what do I want you to write? What's the affirmation? What I want going through your mind as Andrea Stuckey is speaking. Here's how I want you going through your mind. Because now it's all about you, baby. It's all about you. You showed up. And part of life is just showing up. And if you're hearing my voice right now, whether it's live or to the syndicated recording, it doesn't matter. You're here. Here's what I want you to know. I want you to write these words. I want you to believe this with every fiber in your body. It's my time. It's my time. Everyone, someone do me a favor. Do me a favor. Look right below the video. And write, it's my time to have the wealth that I deserve. It's my time to have the relationship with someone that loves me and I love them. It's my time to have the health so I can have the energy, the vitality, the stamina that I need in my life. It's my time to get the right customers that want me to service them and want to write the check and the credit card or the wire payment or the cash out. It's my time. If you believe it's your time, look right below the video, and write these words. It's my time. Now, after you write those words, if someone sees those words, and you're writing them on a digital board, you're posting it for yourself. This is for you to get you in the right state of mind. I want you to hit that share button. I want you to make a public declaration. Now, just because you wrote it's my time, and just because Andrea M. Stuckey gives you the 3 things you can do so you can claim your time, it doesn't mean you're going to do it, okay? Statistically speaking, you're not going to do it. But here's what I know, you can. You can do this. It's your time. So when someone writes, it's my time, you hit the heart button, hit the like button. You encourage them, say, yes, I believe in you. And why am I doing this? Because the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, we want to love on each other. We want to hold on to each other. We want to support each other. We're a tribe that have a common cause, and that is to get results in our life, results in our business, have more meaning in the world, have more impact in the world, and make $1 and a difference at the same time while being happy. And it's possible. So you look right below the video like Rashonda Garrett, who put it's my time. This is all about you, baby. It's all about you. Don't worry, Andrea gonna be coming. She's coming with the fire. She's getting queued up over there. Tony Moore's still there. Tony Moore's hanging and says, it's my time. Bring it, Andrea. Morris Reed said, it's my time. Yeah, and all that. Jacqueline says, it's my time. I believe you. It's my time right now. So Andrea, I gotta be quiet. It's my time. Andrea, just say one time, it's my time, and then you are going to take it away, and you're going to teach them that it is their time. Sherry said, it's my time! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Some of y'all are just extra, extra, extra. Anthony said, it's my time. Heart, heart, heart. All right, Andrea, say, it's my time, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. It's my time.
I believe you.
So Alice Walker says, any happiness you get, you have to get yourself. Any happiness you get, you have to get yourself. The first point of happiness starts with what's on the inside, not what's on the outside. What is it, if anything, that you've been carrying around with you, inside of you, that's negative for maybe even decades? And I alluded to this a little bit earlier. Self-awareness, self-identity is the number one piece. Oftentimes we're looking for so many outward things to change our lives, to find happiness, but it starts within with us. So number one is healing. I challenge you today to really take some time to think about if you're holding on to something that you need to let go. It could be from childhood. It could be from a friendship. It could be from a former relationship. And what we don't recognize is that when we're holding on to anger, bitterness, resentment, blame, it shows up in every area of our life, right? And we don't recognize it, but probably the people that we're around recognize it, right? Maybe our children, maybe our coworkers, right? Maybe our, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. So that's one of the first things is you got to do some self-aware, get self-aware and do a self-identity check for your healing. Number two, let's talk a little bit more about the self-identity. Who are you? Who are you really? Not being a mother, not being a teacher, not being your occupation, not being someone's sister, daughter, mother. Who are you? Do you really know? Do you know what you value? Do you know what your interests are? Do you know what you really like to do? Are you allowing yourself to do that? Right? You really have to spend some time with yourself. And in this world of busy, 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 rarely do we get a chance to do that. And I see this in my coaching practice, especially for women. We pour into our children, we pour into our relationships, we pour into our family members, our parents, our cousins. We're doing all these things for them. And oftentimes we lose ourselves in the process. And so we come out of these relationships, we don't know what we like, right? Because maybe we've been watching someone else's movies or their genre of movies or reading their books or cooking their meals. And so now people find themselves in a space of who really am I? So number one, healing. Number two, self-identity. And when you get those things under control, right, that helps you become more authentically you and showing up in confidence in this space that we call life. Right? But when you have holes in those areas, it's a lot easier to put on the mask. It's a lot easier to be a people pleaser, right? And so we show up differently when we're in that space than when we're authentically free. And so point number three is that to sort of get to that level of full authenticity, to walk in freedom in being who you are, you need a level of accountability, and you also need some support. Just as Shay was saying, we have to encourage one another, right? Who's your encouraging team? Who's your support system, right? What does that look like for you? This is all key into you moving into this next season of your life, wherever you may be. This is your time. This is your season. You have everything that you need already inside of you. You just may not be aware of what those things are, right? What those strengths are. Right? And you want to position yourself in your strengths, right? We all have weaknesses that we don't want to focus on those. You want to focus on your strengths, gain that accountability and that support system, and you'll be able to walk smoothly into this next season that you desire.
I love how you mentioned support system. I love how you mentioned play to your strengths. I want to recognize Sean, who's out there. Sean Carter said hello early on, by the way. You got Evangelist Doris Williams says, it's my time. She's listening to you right now. Tina says, yes, indeed. You got to start within. You know, take a moment, and you talked about support system. Who's been a mentor along this journey from you? And I know you had so many along the way, whether it was online, whether it was offline, whether it was through books or videos or seminars. I get that. But if you can boil it down to maybe one mentor and one lesson that you learned from your mentors, and as folks are listening right now and you're watching, like Rashonda, who's out there, and so many, and Sean and others that are texting me right now, what can you do? How can you participate? Look right below the video. And I think you summed it up best when you said, position yourself in your strengths. Let me say that again. Position yourself in your strengths. Don't worry. She didn't say don't focus on your weakness. She said position yourself in your strengths. And somebody's thinking, what about my weaknesses? Well, I don't know. Let's ask her. What if they have weaknesses? Do they ignore those? Is that something they work on later? What are your thoughts on that, Andrea? But everyone look right below the video. Tina's put, this is powerful. I love it so much. Tina Marie put great words of wisdom, inspiration, and motivation. You summed it all up so well. Position yourself in your strengths. What do you say to do about their weaknesses? And then after that, tell us about a mentor that you had and a lesson that you learned that we can take away from that. Y'all are watching the one and only, the fabulous one, none other than Andrea M. Stuckey, who showed up today to change your life. And she'll change your life if you let her. She works with women who've gone through a divorce, are going through a divorce, and helps them not so much rebound, but restart, refuel, and revitalize their own life so they continue to be the person they are. And I love how she started off. Talk about yourself. Who are you? When we come back, she's going to give us the number one lesson that she's learned from her mentor and what you can do and how you can use that lesson in your own life. And if you had a chance to ask that question, wouldn't you want to know? Like, if it was me, the first thing I want to know is, how did you do it? And what lesson did you learn? So with that being said, we're going to come back in just a moment with the one and only. We're going to go over right now to the one and only Kim Martin. Now, one of the things that I want to ask you real quick, if I can, they told me to ask you real quick. They said she's got to talk about the weaknesses. That's got the text and you're leaving that behind. What do they do with the weakness? Okay, that's got to be a burning question. Thanks a lot, Tony. I got it, okay? If you focus on your strengths, how do you balance your strengths and your weaknesses? And what do you say to people that know they got weaknesses, but they don't work on them? Like, okay, someone just sent me a note that says, I'm a giver. What's up, Ghazi Muhammad? Don't worry, I'm not going to mention the person's name that told me that. He says, I love being my authentic self. So this person said that I'm a giver, and that's a weakness. And so she said, ask her, how do you work on your weakness if you're always giving? And yeah, I assume that, she's not receiving. So I guess the question is, how do you work on your weaknesses, and specifically if you're a giver?
Okay. Well, it's kind of twofold. In terms of the giver, being a giver is a wonderful thing. That's a God-given gift because everyone's not naturally a giver, right? We've learned to, treat people the way we want to be treated, that type of thing. But there are those who have the gift of giving. And when you have that gift, you just have to learn how to set boundaries, right? And I think that's the area where people don't know how to manage in their life in terms of setting boundaries for people. So you can still be a giver, but there may be areas where you need to set boundaries and really learn how to tell people no later or not right now, right? So that they can respect you in that,
like that.
Right? So you have to learn that, but you can continue to be a giver, but it doesn't mean you have to allow people to walk on you, to be a doormat, and to mistreat you, right? And then the second part is depending on what those weaknesses are. So let me give an example. If you have a weakness in your marriage, right? And maybe your weakness is communication. You're not a great communicator, and that's not your strength. Well, that's important. That's an important weakness that you need to work on to maintain your relationship, right? If it was something that your weakness is that you're not a good cook, or maybe you're not that organized, or something of that level, based on what your needs are in your life, you can kind of categorize, if that makes sense, what those weaknesses are and where you need to spend your time working. However, you want to position and focus on your strengths because those are natural to you. That's your gifting, that's your talent, and you want that to shine. You want to show up in that space, right? And what that does is it builds your self-esteem and it builds your self-confidence. And on the side, you can be working on that, for example, communication, reading, maybe counseling, depending on what you need to do in that area. I hope that's helpful.
Very helpful. Thanks a lot. Tina Harmon said, yes, boundaries and balance, so important. Malika Courtney says, loving what you shared, Andrea. What a story. Your strengths show. # position yourself with your strengths. You're making a difference out there in the world of folks that are joining right now. They're saying, who am I? As we're talking right now. For those folks that are listening, you're with Andrea Stuckey. When we come back, we're going to be focused on the lessons that she's learned. And then I'm going to ask her for a big takeaway. You don't want to miss that. Before we do that, let's all give her a warm thank you for the time she spent so far. Never asked for a Cash App payment. Didn't tell me to wire her some money before we got started. She just said, I'm going to show up, show out, and give my best. And I was authorized to ask whatever question I want. So here's how you give her a digital applause. You look right below the video, and she'll go back. She'll see the comments. She'll see everyone in the comments. She's focused. She's in the present moment. She's here with you right now, just focused with you. But you look right below the video and put, great job, Andrea. We appreciate you, Andrea. Put, thank you, Andrea Stuckey. Andrea Stuckey, I'm learning. Andrea Stuckey, you're right on point. Like Morris Red put, you're right on point, Andrea. So you look right below that video. Tony Moore says, thank you, Andrea M. Stuckey. You got that right. She tagged you right in it. Gina said, thank you, Andrea Stuckey, by the way. As I'm watching the comments come in, Evangelist Doris Williams said, you are absolutely amazing right now. So we're appreciative of it. We appreciate what you're doing. We know the best is still yet to come. She's not done. She is not done yet. She's got more. Isn't this great? Look, I'm glad you showed up. Thank all of you who shared this. We really appreciate it. Right now, we're gonna go over, and we have something really special that's taking place. It'll be taking place in Atlanta. For those folks that are entrepreneurs, it's called the Close Conference. First time I've done this conference in about 4 years. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible for you. You can be my guest at no cost. All you got to do is just follow the instructions. I did say no cost, but let me give you all the details. We'll see you.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the founder of the Happy Entrepreneur Network and the host of the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And I'm super excited. I'm over the moon. Just enjoyed to be able to share this special VIP invitation for you to join me at thecloseconference.com. Just look right below the video, and go to closeconference.com, an opportunity for you to attend virtually or in person. Now, who is this for? If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a speaker, if you're a coach, if you're a network marketer, if you're in the personal professional development, or you're just someone right now that is overwhelmed and overworked and you need to generate some qualified leads of people who want to work with you, whether they come from online leads or offline leads, then you need to be there. Or maybe you're someone that wants to, you say, well, Shay, right now I have what's called yo-yo entrepreneur type of revenue, right? Reasons but no results. So it's time for you really to put together your own 7-figure revenue generating infrastructure so you can make more money without your labor. You can take back your time and you can take back your life. Then you want to be there. Or maybe you just want to be able to broadcast just like I'm doing right now. I'm at Broadcastpreneur Studios right here in this set right now. And you need to reach your audience online through the power of those fiber optic lines. Then you need to be at what? thecloseconference.com. Or maybe it's just time for you to get all the resources you need in your business so you can serve the people you were called to serve and have more meaning in the world, have more impact in the world, and make a dollar and a difference at the same time. If that's you, look right below the video, and go to closeconference.com. I promise you'll learn about how to generate unlimited sponsorships. You'll learn about how to tell your story and have more impact. And more importantly, you're going to have more success, more joy, and more happiness in your business. I'm so excited. Look, join me at closeconference.com. Share this with all your friends. I'm looking forward to seeing you. My promise to you is it'll be a good use of your time. My promise to you is that you're going to generate more revenue than you've ever generated before in your life and have more happiness. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and I promise you we'll make some good things how we connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you success. See you soon.
I wish all of you success. Looking forward to seeing you over at the Close Conference. It's going to be simply amazing. Right now, you're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. My name is Shay Brown, and you're here with none other than the one and only, the lovely, the brilliant, the bold, the bright, Andrea M. Stuckey. Now, Andrea M. Stuckey said she would share with us her #1 mentor. And as she does that, I do want to mention that Sherry Lou Randall said, great job, Andrea Stuckey. You are awesome and inspirational. Tina, I believe Marie Harmon said, thank you. Andrea, you are amazing. Rashonda Garrett is on here, says, thank you so much, Andrea. Stacy Silman said, hey, I'm just joining. Well, you're at the right place. You're at the right time. Tune in. You ain't missed that because the best is still yet to come. Tanisha Simpson says she's in the house. Cassandra Thomas has joined. Thank all of you who are joining. I can't mention everybody's name, but you're all here. We appreciate every single one of you. And thank you for sharing it with your tribe. Thank you for paying it forward. Andrea, holla at your boy over here. Who's a mentor that's worked with you? What impact did they have in your life? And what lesson can we walk away with?
Yes, I have many people who've imparted in my life, but Paul Morgan, actually he's a minister, Reverend Paul Morgan, is my #1 mentor. He changed my life over 10 years ago in opening me up to information about personal development, counseling me prior to the end of my marriage and after, and also introducing me to coaching. He was my very first coach and helped coach me in that season of my life. One of the things that I did and I want to share this because I think it's relevant, that was pivotal at that time, I set out to run a 10K race, right? And so this is not about sports, right? I set out to attend a 10K race.
Cool. And
when I started, it was really about commitment to myself. I was going through a lot of transition in my life at that time. And the importance of setting, self-commitment and setting goals for yourself. I signed up with a training team, and long story short, after several months of training, I made it through that process. And so I just want to share with some of you who are watching is that you need someone in your life who's going to push you beyond what you think you can do, right? They can see something in you that you don't see in yourself and will stretch you, right? Because we are, we're made to be comfortable, right? We want to stay in our comfort zone. And so what Reverend Morgan did for me was stretch me beyond what I could see for myself. And I learned self-belief. I learned self-commitment, and I learned the power of personal development. And that has, stayed with me thus far.
Wow, congratulations on finishing the 10K, for signing up and doing the race. How do you feel? Talk to me.
Oh, that was great. That was back in 2010. And that catapulted me back into running and signing up for races and that type of thing. And I had been in the Army, so physical wellness wasn't a big deal, but I had not committed to something of that magnitude, right? So I joined a training team, i.e. accountability, right? I had a coach because I was still going through therapy and coaching and those type of things. And all those things together, right, push me over the finish line, literally and figuratively. But I learned so much about myself in that. I want to say it was probably a 12 or 16 week commitment. And it's a beautiful thing. And it has been a part of my life ever since. That's where I go to get my mental headspace, running and staying active.
Well, as a fellow runner, I don't know if you know that myself, I certainly enjoy what you're doing. Yeah, I've enjoyed running, and I've had the privilege of doing what you've done, run several of those type of races and marathons. It was truly amazing, and I'm proud of you. So congratulations, and I'm proud that you kept it up. I think it's one of the best sports or greatest sports in the world if your body will allow you to do it. I understand it's not for everyone. But a little known fact, as you mentioned that out, for those folks that are listening, you may not notice, but 99% of people who start a marathon finish. Let me say this again, because something you might not know. You talk about finishing, and you brought it up about finishing. I just wanted to share that because some people may not notice. 99% of people who start a marathon finish, and I know it's a surprising number. I know there's a reason that number is so high, and the reason that number is so high. I know you talked about the military, but in the Navy, I'm not sure what part you were in, but the Navy, they have something called the 40% rule, and the 40% rule says that when your body thinks you're ready to give out, when your mind quits, there's still 40% left of capacity deep inside of you. So the reason that 99% of people really complete the marathon, 99% to start the race, finish, is because they understand that 40% rule when they get to that one part. I want to share that, and then I want to come back. You brought it up. I thought it was a great point. I want to share that, and then after I do that, we're going to come down the home stretch. But it's about finishing what you start. Congratulations for doing that. A great lesson from your mentor, and thank you for sharing that with the audience. Everyone look right below the video. Look right below the video, and I want you to write these words. Finish strong. It's probably appropriate for where we are at this point in the year, by the way. It really is.
Absolutely.
This is not a time to slow down. It's a time to speed up. This is not a time to slow down. It's a time to speed up. So look right below the video. Look right below the video. I know earlier you put today is my January 1st, and you were shouting and we were excited and the energy was there. But I want you to bring that down just a notch and say, you know what? I got to finish strong. I got to finish strong. It's not about perfection. It's about what? Completion. And there's a message from the founder of Marquis Jet. Now, I don't know if you know about that. It was like the Uber for jets by his name, and you might know his name. His name is Jesse Itzert. Doesn't really matter. He's the husband of the creator of the Spanx. Okay, you know where I'm going. And I just want to share what I learned with him because he talked about the 40% rule, and it's about you finishing strong. And we come back, we're going to hear as the one and only Andrea Stuckey get ready to close us out. We're going to hear from her about this whole concept of how you can finish what you start. And we're coming down the home stretch. Finish strong, finish strong, finish strong. Look right below the video, and write those words. Finish what? Strong.
I first met Seal at a 100-mile run in San Diego, and I was running this race as part of a 6-person relay team with friends, and he was running the entire race by himself. And the run was unsupported, so you have to bring your own supplies. So we had, we overdid it a little bit. We had a tent, and we had masseuses and food. I mean, we were ready for, in case we had to stay there a week. And he had a folding chair, a bottle of water, and a bag of crackers. And I just thought to myself, who is this guy? I'd never seen anything like it. And during the race, I kept an eye on him, and around mile 70, he weighed probably 260 pounds, which is quite large for an ultra runner. He had broken all the small bones in both of his feet and had kidney damage, and he finished the race. So when it was done, I Googled him. He had a fascinating life story, and I decided literally to cold call him. And I flew out and met with him, and after sitting with him for a couple of minutes, I realized that I could learn so much from a guy like this and what makes him tick, and various buckets in my life would be so much better if a little bit of what he had rubbed off on me. I asked him to come live with my family and I for a month. So at the time that I invited Seal to come live with us, I had an 18-month-old son. I was married, still am, 2 more kids since. And I had sold a couple of businesses. I was in a great place professionally in my life, but I was also in a routine. And routines are great, but they can also be a rut. And I found that I just wasn't getting better. I was doing the same thing every day, like so many of us. Wake up, go to work, come home, have dinner, repeat. And I just wanted to get off autopilot. And I thought that he would be a great way to get in good shape, but also to just mix up my routine and get better. The first day that Seal came to live with me, he asked me he said, how many pull-ups can you do? And I'm not great at pull-ups. I did about 8, just getting over the bar 8. And then he said, all right, take 30 seconds and do it again. So 30 seconds later, I got up on the bar and I did 6, struggling. And he said, all right, one more time. We waited 30 seconds and I barely got 3 or 4 and I was done. I mean, couldn't move my arms done. And he said, all right, we're not leaving here until you do 100 more. And I thought we're going to be here for quite a long time because there's no way that I could do 100. But I ended up doing it one at a time, and he proved to me right there that there was so much more. We're all capable of so much more than we think we are, and it was just a great lesson. It was actually the first thing that we did. It was just a great lesson in we have so much more in our reserve tank than we think we do. One of the things that Seal said to me, and it's in the book, and one thing that people have said that really resonated with them, he would say that when your mind is telling you you're done, you're really only 40% done. And he had a motto, if it doesn't suck, we don't do it. And that was his way of every day forcing us to get uncomfortable, to figure out what our baseline was and what our comfort level was, and just, turning it upside down. The 40% rule, maybe it's give or take a little, but look at a marathon. Most people hit the wall at a marathon at mile anywhere from 16 to 20. And 99% of the people in this country that run marathons finish, and predominantly all of them go through this, hit the wall. So where does that extra 50 or 60% or whatever the number is come from? I mean, it's their brain saying, I'm done, I don't want to continue, but their will saying, you know what, let me get to the finish line. So we all have that will. It's just a matter of how do we apply it to not just the once-a-year marathon, but to our daily lives and make it apply to a variety of things.
And when you think about that 40% rule, the man that he's talking about, by the way, is a brother. His name is David Goggins. If you never Googled David, D-A-V-I-D, Goggins, G-O-G-G-I-N. He's a brother, one of the greatest ultra runners of all time, one of the greatest Navy SEALs, one of the greatest paratroopers, and one of the greatest military guys to ever exist. He's still a man. You can go Google him. I encourage you to get the book, You Can't Hurt Me. I mean, David Goggins, who he's talking about. He keeps saying the word SEAL, but it's a brother. He's just the baddest brother in the world. Why do I show that to you? Because I want you to finish strong. You have the woman on the other side of me, Andrea M. Stuckey. She gets you started. She gets you going, and she helps you finish strong. I've been blessed to run 5+ marathons, countless half marathons, so many races. I don't even track them anymore. But this was one mantra that was taught to me when I was running. I hit the wall, was saying I'm trained, I'm strong, and I'm ready. I ran with a group, just like Andrea Stuckey said over there. I ran the first one by myself, failed, 5 hours, 25 minutes. Then I hired a coach and a team, did much better, 4 hours and 30-something minutes. Our difference is huge when it comes to running. Here's my message to you. It's time to finish strong. It's time to finish strong. It's time to finish strong. I don't want you just to be excited with this episode. I don't want you just to be motivated with this episode. I want you to finish strong that which you know you got to get done. So with that being said, I want to first thank the one and only, the lovely woman herself, Andrea M. Stuckey, for taking so much time out with us. We're in overtime. We didn't know how long we were going to go. She said, Shay, I'm there with you. She got her phone plugged in. I said, I hope you got that phone plugged in. I hope it's supercharged up, by the way. But boy, has she laid it on. Boy, has she just given her best. And we want to thank her for that. So, Andrea, I would like for you to go ahead and have the final thoughts, the closing comments, as folks now have to go out there and do the things you said they have to do. They got to face their fears. They got to take action. They got to be in movement in order to reclaim their life. Once again, thank you. We appreciate you. Now, I want to ask if you'll take time. Sometimes we're able to find a few producers who spend time during the week sharing their thought of the week with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, and it's something that we can post into those folks that haven't joined over at happyentrepreneurs.tribe.com. Hit on over there right now, and you can see that. So, Andrea, if your schedule's open, is that something that you could consider or commit to? I won't put you too much on the spot, but I do want you to be able to share, because you bring a unique gift to the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, and your energy is right, your spirit is right, you have a heart to give, and you have a heart to serve. And so I want to continue that message with the tribe. And certainly it's a two-part question. Number one, will you come back? And number two, will you spend some time and share your thought of the week with the tribe so they can grow and continue to hear your message?
Absolutely. I'll definitely come back and share my thoughts as well. Absolutely. As we close here tonight, we talked about a lot of different areas. But as Shay was last saying before the break, it's time to finish strong, right? We are in a different part of the year. We're ending up the year in probably less than 110 days or so. And no matter where you are in this season of your life, whether it's out of a relationship, maybe you're building something new in your business, maybe you desire to come off of your job, maybe you want to finish that book. There are a couple of components that are really very relative into finishing strong, quote unquote, right? So you can apply this to any area of your life, Number one is consistency. As human beings, this is one of the areas that we fall short and we're not consistent. And sometimes we look at the big picture, but we don't know how to break it down into small segments. So if it's you and you're watching and you've been thinking about writing a book, or you've been thinking about building your business, right? What can you do consistently every day or 3 times a week, whatever works for your schedule, right? That you can commit to. That's the second point. But let's stay on the consistency. Be consistent. Write 30 minutes every day. Doesn't have to be 2 hours, 3 hours, right? Sometimes we want to do things at a big scale, right? If it's physical wellness, right? You don't have to necessarily go to the gym and start pumping iron right away, or run like Shay and I were saying. You can start with simply walking 15 minutes a day, right? So whatever that is that you need in this season of your life, be consistent to the end, from now to the end of 2019, right? As you walk into 2020, if it's a book that you're writing, if it's a business you're building, be consistent. Number 2, commitment. Commit to yourself, right? When you're thinking about writing that book, when you're thinking about building that business that you believe that you're called to do and walk in purpose, commit to yourself, right? Aren't you worth it? Aren't you worth committing to yourself? When we give so much of our time to other people, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we get up, we go to the job, or we go to our, take care of our children, our family members. Make this commitment for you, so that this time next year, you're going to be in a different space emotionally, socially, physically, occupationally, maybe financially, whatever that is for you. Consistency and commitment, and finish strong over these next 110 days or so. So as you walk into 2020, you're already positioned for that new year. Thank you, Shay, for having me so much tonight.
I love it so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for what you're doing, by the way. I love that. I love the consistency, and I love the commitment. They say consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key, as Gina Hall wrote down. But having said that, what do most people struggle with? Well, consistency. Andrea, I think we have to come back and talk about consistency.
I'd love to.
We're gonna have to bring it back and just have a segment just on how to be consistent. Because I know I struggle with that, by the way. And maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm alone, but that's okay. I'll be in the front row. With that being said, I want to thank all of you out there. Gina Hall said, commit to yourself. Consistency is the key. I want to thank Jacqueline Fulton. I want to thank Anthony Abrams, said, great information. # the affluent man. I want to thank Coach out there, Cassandra out there, Tanasha out there, Eartha out there, Tiffany Mayfield, all of you out there who are paying this message forward. We appreciate every single one of you. Morris Red, thank you so much. Eartha, thank you so much. Thank every one of you for participating. With that being said, we're looking forward to connecting with you. For those folks that are tuning in for the very first time, you just heard from none other than Andrea M. Stuckey. She just broke it all the way down. And my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the founder of the Happy Entrepreneur Network. We're looking forward to connecting. With that being said, you're wonderful. You have greatness inside you. You have so much potential inside you. And I know with 100% certainty, when we connect again, I know during that time, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. You keep holding on to that. The best is still yet to come. With that being said, my name again is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. And Andrea, we'll see him soon, huh? We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Cannett?
Ready, ready.
None other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia, who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin.
That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there.